Well, hey everybody, it's Paul. Welcome again to the channel. Thought I'd do a story time video where I tell you about the time I literally almost killed a dude. No joke. This is, I'm going to say around 1995, so a good many years ago. And I was living on the farm there, and it was late at night, probably about 11 or 12 at night. And I was coming home from Adrian, Michigan to Tipton, Michigan. I was heading north on Tipton Highway, and I had a newer Ford F-250, nice pickup truck with the diesel. And like I say, on those dark nights in the country, it is quiet. You know, you can go for miles, you'll not see another vehicle at all. So I'm going at least 60, maybe more, just cruising along, probably had some jams going, relaxing. And I see something in the headlights up ahead, you know, something laying on the road. So my first thought was, it looked like somebody dropped a sleeping bag that they rolled like long ways or something, or a carpet roll, you know, a short carpet roll, something had fallen out of somebody's. I see it off in the, you know, so I'm like, nah, there's enough room. I can just, you know, scoot around it. There's only one lane each way, you know. It's one of these back roads. They call it a highway. But it, you know, it's paved, but it's it's not an expressway by no means. One way, one lane each direction. So as I'm getting close, I'm like, nah, it's got to be either a deer, probably a deer that's down there, or maybe a dog, a big dog or something, you know. So I'm getting closer, and by God, there's a person laying in the road. Nothing around. Nothing. I mean, just slam on the brakes, practical heart attack, you know, at the time. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, your heart's like, you're trying to make sense out of something that doesn't. How on earth, why is there a body laying in the middle of a road in the middle of the night where there's nothing around, you know? So, you know, I pulled my car sideways so I'm blocking traffic at least, you know, not that there was anything coming, but just in case nobody could miss the truck being sideways. And I just get out and I got my flashlight and I got my phone and, you know, first things, try to look at the guy, you know, and, you know, I mean, I'm no doctor, but he doesn't look good to me. You know, he's pretty well unconscious. But the one thing I did know is, like, if somebody's, like that, you don't want to move them, you know. I'm still trying to figure what on earth is he, you know, how did he, what the heck's going on, you know. So, anyway, I called 911, obviously, and say, you know, I need an ambulance, I need the cops, I don't know what's going on, this guy, there's somebody in the road. So, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, you take off. I forget if I had a jacket. I think at the time it had take your jacket and you want to make them warm so they don't go into shock or whatever. And that stuff. And I mean, he's kind of like coming out of it, going, you know, just dazed obviously or something. You don't know what's going on. And he starts saying about his glass, where's my glasses or something, you know, I'm like, you know, I mean, it's pitch black. Uh, you know, I'm waiting on the, you know, the ambulance, waiting on the sheriff or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, you know, I don't know. I'm sure we'll find him, you know, you'll be alright, blah, blah, blah. And then he fades out again or whatever. So, at some point, I guess I'm like, I'll just look for his glasses a little, just, you know, while he's waiting. And you just shine in the light or something. So anyway, I don't see anything, but I hear some noise like way off in the corn. And what had happened was apparently these guys were drinking. And you know how the country roads are there. I mean, Irish Hills. I mean, that stuff's hilly and twisty, and apparently they did a Luke and Bo Duke type of thing. You know, they went up a hill, but instead of just, I don't know, like if it curved or if the car veered off or whatever, there was a car way off in the corn. And what the sound I heard was there were two people, a guy and a girl, and they apparently were drunk or shook up or whatever. At the time I didn't know, but I hear them stumbling around in the so I go over there with the light and whatever, and they are slowly seemingly making their way away from the vehicle and away from us. I'm like, hey, you can't, what are you doing? Get back here. And I said, you cannot leave. I mean, your buddy is in the middle of the road in a bad way. You guys are in a heap of trouble. You're not leaving. And no matter what, if you try to leave, you're going to be in worse shape. That's going to be a serious check. If you leave the scene of an accident where there's been an injury, I mean, that's not a good thing. You're already in a heap of trouble. Don't make it worse type thing. And like I say, this is a long time ago. I wasn't going to let them leave if I could help it, but it didn't come, they were no they were, ended up, you could tell that they were blitzed and shook up from the accident or whatever, but, so they were drunk. But yeah, it was a bad situation. The sheriff eventually came, and the guy that was on the ground, he's still talking about his glasses. So anyway, the ambulance is coming, so me and the sheriff were going to, go look in the vehicle, see if we can find the guy's glasses or whatever. And it's one of those weird things, too. You always hear in an accident, how in the world the guy lost his shoe, too. I'll never forget that. You always hear it in accidents. People lose, I don't know how that happened. I don't even know how he got ejected out of the car. If he went through the, if he went through the windshield or what, however he ended up on the road. But so we went to the vehicle, and the sheriff opens the door. We shine a light, and sure enough, you hear the tink, like where a bottle rolls out of the door. And he looked at me, and I looked at him. He just shook his head, and I mean, it was a sad situation. I hope the guy never heard any more. I wasn't called to testify or anything like that. Don't know anything more about it. But I just know I almost hit that dude, man. I could have. I mean, I think I would have swerved around. I'm just glad I didn't take that chance. And so, yeah, that was a close call. And fun times, out there in the backwoods of Michigan, It's easy to be flying along, and people think, they could just drink in and drive and take the back roads, but they must have just went too fast and went off the road. Anyway, guys, that's my little story about how I came close to killing the dude. And I appreciate your time and tuning in on my silly stories. And until next time, we'll see ya.